Sometimes the name for a group of a given species of animals explains a lot. A colony of ants, an ostentation of peacocks, a crash of rhinoceroses, a clutch of eggs, a tidings of magpies. But a murmuration of starlings? Oh yes, just listen. The murmur and the immense swirling sight of them against the sky is mesmerizing. Like starlings, all blackbirds can synchronize the movement of remarkably dense flocks. So can sanderlings. Even larger birds, like black-necked stilts, will flee predators in dense flocks. One of these days, I'm going to have a car wreck because I got distracted by a cloud of blackbirds weaving and swirling across the sky in front of me, swooping and swerving and wheeling in hairpin turns. How do they do that? Well, if you'll recall the childhood game of telephone, you'll remember that the fun of that game is how quickly the original message is distorted. Just goes to show that we have little talent for syncing ourselves with our neighbors. But birds do. And surprisingly, they aren't led by any individual, no matter what the species. When one flockmate, whether goose, swan, or blackbird, changes direction or speed, every other member responds almost instantaneously, whether it's a pair of birds or a flock of 10,000. Now, they can do that because each bird is aware of the movement of the others, especially its 7 closest neighbors, those in a circle around itself, as if each bird were at the center of a ball composed of other birds. It's a question of reflexes. The ability to reason is the defining strength of humans, but our reflexes are so pitiful in comparison to bird reflexes that it's as if we moved through a medium of molasses. A red-winged blackbird would be puzzled that we can't do something as elementary as syncing ourselves in a group.